Good morning, students. So today we are going to start chapter 13 of our NCERT book, class 12, and that is organisms and population. Student, this chapter is related with ecology. So first of all, I want to tell you what is ecology. Ecology is the branch of biology that deals with relationships that exist between living organisms and their environment. Or in other words, you can say it is an interaction that exists between biotic and abiotic factors. So here biotic factors are the living organisms. It may be plants, animals, or any other type of living organism. And their interactions with abiotic factors. So here abiotic factors are the physical factors. It may be soil, water, temperature, sunlight, etc. So in this chapter, we are going to study in detail the different topics that are actually related with ecology. Yes, student, here I have shown you the different type of ecosystems. So if you want to define ecosystem in one line, then it is a life sustaining unit in which so many interactions are seen between biotic and abiotic components. So biotic and abiotic components are actually the two components of an ecosystem. Yes, student, here in this chapter, we are going to study the following topics. Number one, organism and its environment. So here we study about the ecology at the organism level. We also study ecology at different levels, but here we will study ecology at organism level and population level. So two aspects of ecology we consider here. Next is measure abiotic factors. So here the abiotic factors, they are broadly divided into four types. This may be temperature, it may be water, then sunlight, and then soil. So different organisms, they also show responses towards these abiotic factors. So we will study about the different type of responses shown by these living organisms towards these abiotic factors. Next is adaptations. As you know that every living organism is living in its own habitat. So how the living organism, it lives in that particular habitat, it is only because these living organism has certain adaptive features present in them that makes them capable to adjust according to the conditions that are prevailing in that habitat. So here we are going to study about the various types of adaptations that are found in case of aquatic plants, terrestrial plants, and xerophytic plants. We will also study about the behavioral type of adaptations and physiological adaptations that are generally found in those animals which are either found in extreme cold conditions or in extreme hot conditions. So what kind of adaptive features these animals have? What are these special features that we will going to study in detail in the topic adaptation. Next are population attributes. So there are certain things which we generally describe during the explanation of a population. That means every population has a birth and death rate. Every population have a specific type of sex ratio. That means how many males they are present as compared to female. What is the number of pre-reproductive, then reproductive and post-reproductive members in a population. And beside this, we are also going to study about the various types of factors which generally affect the growth of a population. So here we are going to study about birth rate, death rate, then immigration, and sometimes e-migrations. So all of these factors we are going to study. Then population interactions. As you know that every individual cannot live alone. So if an individual is sharing a particular habitat with so many other individuals, then there is a interaction that exists between different species. These interactions may be in the form of a prey and predator relationship, or it may be Parasitism, that is one organism here act as a parasite and other organism act as a host. Sometimes the two different living organisms, they are living together, and one organism, it mostly benefit the other one, whereas the other organism cannot get harmed. So such type of population interaction is known as commensalism. And also we are here going to study about a specific type of extraordinary interactions that exist between the species and in which both the type of species, they get benefited. So that is known as symbiotic association. So here we are studying about so many types of population interactions, competition, parasitism, predation, then commensalism, and in the last, symbiotic association. Yes, student, here a very beautiful picture I have shown you, and I have written the definition also, that ecology is actually the study of living organisms and how this living organism, they affect each other. That means how one living organism can affect the other living organism, and it also have an influence over the surrounding, as well as the surrounding also put influence over that living organism. So that whole study is known as ecology. Yes, what we are given here in the introduction, that our living world is fascinating, diverse, and amazingly complex. That means there are so many organisms, living organisms found in our living world. And all of these organisms, they are showing diversity. So diversity is found at various levels, and complexity is found at various levels. Complexity and diversity is found at the macromolecules, in cells, tissues, organs, even in individual organism. One individual organism cannot be similar to the next one if both of them belong to the same species. As we are the species of human beings, this doesn't mean that all human beings, they look very similar to each other. There may be similarities in certain fundamental characters, but variations are also present which makes us different from other living organisms, whether we both belong to the same species. So diversity is also found at the population level. As you know that species are such group of organisms which have some fundamental similarities, and they can interbreed successfully among themselves to produce a fertile offspring. And what are this population? If so many different species and their groups, they are living together at a particular place, then all of them, they constitute a population. Similarly, when so many populations, they interact in an area, they form the community. So community is actually the group of different kind of populations. And what is an ecosystem? If so many communities that are existing in a bigger unit, then that is known as ecosystem. So here we have so many types of ecosystem, as you have learned in a 10th standard. We divide the ecosystem broadly into two categories. And these may be the natural ecosystem and the artificial ecosystem. So among the natural ecosystem, we have different types of ecosystem. It may be forest ecosystem, it may be aquatic ecosystem, and it may be grassland ecosystem. And among the aquatic ecosystem also we have different categories, whether it may be freshwater animals, it may be marine animals, or sometimes fisheries are also there. So here, the ecosystem, different types of ecosystems, they later form the biomes. So we have different kind of biomes. It may be desert regions, it may be some deciduous forest, and beside this, we have so many other types of biomes, tundra regions, sea coast, etc. Yes, student, here again I have written the definition of ecology. That ecology is the branch of biology that studies the interactions of living things with each other and with the environment. So many physical factors are present in the environment that also affect the living organisms. So ecology from the Greek word ios means home and logos means to study. So here I've shown you the photograph of a forest ecosystem. Yes, students. The first topic in this chapter is organisms and its environment. So whenever we are going to study ecology and organism level. So it is actually the physiological ecology. So physiological ecology always tries us to know the different type of organisms and how these organisms they are adapted to their environment, not only in the terms of reproduction but also in the terms of survival. As you know, students, all planets they revolve around the sun. Similarly, our planet Earth, it also revolves around the sun, as well as it also shows rotation at its own axis. So as a result of these rotations and the tilt of its axis, many annual variations, they are generally created in the intensity and duration of the temperature, and later which results in different kind of seasons. So different kind of seasons, they generally appear in our planet Earth because of rotation of our planet around its axis as well as around the sun. Okay, student, here a very beautiful picture of the dense forest known as the rainforest is shown to you. That how dense these forests are. So many vegetation is there. And as this the name indicates, they are the rainforest. This means the humidity level is very high in this forest. So as throughout the day, rain is there. So because of that, when the during the daytime, when there is sunlight appear, then this water vapors they get evaporated, and as a result, the level of water vapor increases in the air, and which later again commences in the form of rain. Yes, student, the variations together with these annual variations, which are actually the change in seasons. Precipitation, it also accounts for the formation of various types of biomes. So these biomes may be a desert, it may be rainforest, or it may be tundra regions. So not only the annual variations it have an influence over the life of the living organism, but the regional and the local variations within each biome, it also lead to the formation of a wide variety of habitats. So as you know very well, on planet Earth, life even exists in extreme harsh conditions. So various plants and animal species, they are found in the scorching Rajasthan desert, in the rain-soaked Meghalayan forest, and in the deep ocean trenches also. Even organisms, they are also found in torrential streams, permafrost polar regions, and high mountain tops. Even bacteria, they can successfully survive in thermal springs whose temperature is up to 100 degrees Celsius. And even so many microorganisms, they are visible to you in the compost pit, which generally dug by you in the corner of your garden. Yes, student, here one diagram is shown to you, and that is a graph between the annual mean temperature and the annual mean precipitation. So according to these annual variations along with the regional variation, there are different type of biomes present in our Earth. This may be the desert, this may be the grasslands and tropical forests. So temperate forests are also there. Then we have coniferous forest, and then Arctic and alpine tundra regions. They are also found. Yes, student, here I have shown you the photograph of the major biomes, and first among these is a desert ecosystem. So different type of animals and plant species they are found in a desert. So desert is an area where there is a deficiency of water generally it found. So the animals and plants that are living in these areas, they are generally adapted to these conditions of less water. As for example, in case of plant, thick waxy cuticle is present and stomata they are hidden. And in case of animals, these animals they generally make burrows and live inside the burrows during daytime. And during the night, as you know that the sand it becomes cooler very fast. So these animals they comes out from their burrows and they move over the sand surface. Student, here I have shown you a beautiful picture of the rainforest. So most of the area in the eastern part of India is covered by the rain forest. For example, the Meghalayan rainforest is generally visible in your picture, and beside this we have a Sundar ones. So all of these rainforest, they are the places where rain is happening throughout the day and night, and because of this, the humidity level in these forests is very high, and which later help quite play an important role in the commencement of rain on the next day. A student, here the picture of tundra regions are known to you. So special kind of animals and plants, they are present there. So plants, they are very much resistant to these extreme cold conditions. And animals, they are generally have fur, and they have special type of pads present in their feet. And this fur, they gives them warm during the seasons of extreme cold. So here I've shown you that how the polar bear, ice polar bear, it can easily survive on the iceberg with her babies. So other animals cannot survive in such harsh conditions. A student, another type of biome is the deciduous forest. Deciduous forests are those forests whose leaves generally fell down at a particular season. So these forests, they are also occupying a major part in India. So they are also comes under major biomes. Next among these is the sea coast. You have seen so many beautiful sea coasts in your country, and a specific type of vegetation as well as animals they are found. So there are various species of animals, marine animals, and these marine animals, they are generally adapted to the saline water pH, and specific type of enzymes, they are also functioning in their body, which can easily work in these pH, that is in which the salt concentration is very high. And beside this, we can also found different species of algae in the oceans too, such as brown algae, then we have red algae, then green algae is there. So here I want to mention one very important thing, that beside these, the spectral components, they cannot penetrate the sea up to its bottom. So specific spectral components such as ultraviolet lights, they are absorbed by certain algal pigments. So as a result, their color is like that. So here, student, the beautiful sea coast of our country is visible on your screen. The student, now the components of an ecosystem. So abiotic components, as I have already discussed. These are broadly of four types. This may be temperature, water, light, and soil. And the biotic components. The biotic components, they include pathogens. These are actually those living organisms which generally cause diseases in plants as well as animals. Then we have parasite. Parasites are those which are dependent on host plant for obtaining their nourishment and also causing harm to the host plant. Then we have predators. So these predators, they are always in search of their prey, and from their prey they obtain food. Competitors. Competitors are those organisms which generally compete with the other organism for obtaining the food, shelter, as well as the space. So different type of organisms, they are living in a particular habitat. So after this, we are going to explain one more thing, that is different organisms, they are showing adaptations, and because of these adaptations, they can easily survive in their habitats. And these adaptive features, they develop in them because of natural selection. You know very well, students, that natural selection is a process in which nature, it put different type of options in front of living organisms. Those organisms which adjust themselves according to prevailing environmental conditions, they survive. Otherwise, the organisms, they become extinct. So what is niche? Niche is a special territory that is present in a habitat. For example, if we are talking about tiger, then tiger, it roams in all the forest, but it usually lives in its den or a cave. So cave or den is a niche. So that's all in today's lecture, students. In my upcoming lecture, we will study about these abiotic factors in details. So have a nice day.